Good afternoon, everyone. Hope all is well. So, we are now going to be going live with an actor, a tutor for performing arts, and a forex trader. And I want to know how Lisa Michelle Pug actually goes on and deals with multitasking in her career. So, let's go live with Lisa. Lisa,
Hey, how are you?
good, and yourself?
I'm great, thank you. I'm great.
Good, good. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's a pleasure to have you on.
Pleasure to be here. Thanks for asking me.
Super. Uh, Before we get the conversation going, I would like you to introduce yourself as to who you are and what you do so that we can move forward.
Awesome. Okay, so my name's Lisa Michelle Pugh. I am a forex trader, an actress, dancer, and singer, and a performing arts tutor.
Wow. Wow. I was impressed when I read your profile and like you're multitasking over so many careers, and I want to find out of how you do that, especially acting and teaching children how to act. It's an amazing job that you're doing out here. So thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I do a lot. I will
Yeah.
say that. And every time I speak to people, they say the same thing. It's how do you manage everything? And I think I do a lot of things on purpose. I
Okay.
felt I had a purpose at a very young age to
Okay.
inspire as many people as I could. And
Absolutely.
it only over the last 2 years has kind of grew into working with children and
Sure.
showing them, what's possible. And I come from a really small town in Southwest Wales, and I think I was always ambitious, but I wasn't around ambitious people. So
Okay.
when I had the opportunity to move to different cities around the UK and meet more people and work with children, I just found a passion for sharing my knowledge with others and sharing with people that, acting is an incredible skill to have. It brings so much confidence to children. It's not just something that they can take on and be actors with, but you can apply it to your everyday life as children. If a child is confident, they get through life.
Absolutely.
I just love that
I
I can
mean,
give that to
I mean,
children.
I'm loving the energy right now that you have. It's absolutely amazing to have
Thank
someone
you.
like yourself to share that inspiration, to share that knowledge. Lisa, I want to take you a few years back into your childhood. Did you always, growing up, right, as kids, we always aspire to be possibly a doctor, a lawyer, an architect, an engineer. No one ever thinks that we're going to be an actor, you know. Did you always have that aspiration in you to be an actor, or was it something different that you wanted to do while you were growing up?
I first of all no, I wanted to act from probably about 11, 12. Before
Okay,
that, I wanted to be a PE coach. I was into sports massively. I
okay,
was doing hockey, football, netball, rounders, cricket, running. I was very
wow.
into my athletics. So,
And that's
uh,
what you carried on in your life, right? The multitasking in sports to
yeah,
now where you are today. It's inspirational, totally.
thank you. Yeah, so I definitely didn't start, liking or even understanding. I always loved singing. I danced from I think about 6, 7. I was dancing, and I
Okay,
always sang all the time around the house. I always wanted to be a superstar, but like actually seeing acting as a career, I never thought that I could see it as a career until I
yeah,
started taking acting lessons when I was about 11.
yeah.
But before then, yeah, growing up, I was very athletic, very sporty. So that was actually the dream to begin with. I just wanted to train kids and be a PE teacher. That was
And
my
then when did you decide to get into acting? Was it at university, college? Did you
It
decide at
was,
that point?
I was like 11. I took my first acting class, and it was
Okay,
on improvisation.
okay,
So just literally making up things on the spot. And I
okay,
loved it because I used to write things all the time in notepads. And my mum used to probably think, what is she writing? But I used to write stories, and I used
okay.
to speak to myself and act these stories out. And she was like, okay. So, yeah, it's a bit strange. But I asked her, I said, Mum, I want to be an actress. I want to be on the stage. And she said, okay. Then she looked around. I would say probably from college. Like I did lots of small theatre like productions when I was like 13, 14. I was
Okay.
on ITV Wales when I was 15. And
Wow.
that was like amazing for someone my age, right? Because I was so young. And they
Celebrity
announced
at
it
the
in
age of
school.
15.
Yeah, I was 15 and I was like on TV and I was like, oh my God, so scary. But it was amazing. It was an awesome opportunity. I would say from 16, when I first went to college, I did musical theatre in college. So
Okay.
dance, acting and singing. I think from there, that's when I really thought like, no, I never want to do anything else. I'm not that good at anything else. So I
Yeah.
don't want to do anything else.
So you pursued your passion basically.
Yeah, from 16 onwards, I would say I've never stopped chasing
Okay.
it. Yeah.
And did you go to university to do the performing arts or to be an actor? I mean,
Yeah, I did 2 years in college. That was musical theatre. Then I applied for like really big drama schools and got really close, but then kept getting the no. I took a year out. I worked for a year. And then I thought, right, I'm going to go to university to just study the form of acting. So I actually studied in Newport in Southwest Wales. And
okay.
lots of people don't like Newport. I think it's a great place. And also, the person that was doing the course was so knowledgeable on the things I wanted to learn about acting. So yeah, I went to university and then from there, I mean, I'm still learning. I'm never going to stop
Of
learning. I
course.
think we're always students, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But
I'm always learning.
we passed the school university stage and we learn in our careers, whatever we are doing. Like today you're teaching children.
Yeah,
So I mean, the whole point of me doing these live sessions is to share knowledge, right? But knowledge only increases by sharing,
right, exactly.
So it's a great point you make. Um, why didn't you ever decide to get onto Britain's Got Talent or the X Factor?
I don't know. I mean, I was close, but not on my own. I was close to doing it with a group. I used to be in a street dance crew when I was younger. So I was
Okay,
close with that. I had applied for X Factor twice for like singing. And I
okay,
just think it was, I think my first love's always been acting. So I never wanted to stray away from that. I always wanted to have that as my first kind of passion. So me applying for X Factor was more what people wanted me to do, not what I wanted to do.
okay.
So I think I did it for that reason. Like everyone was listening to my videos and saying, "Oh, you should do X Factor," and I was like, "Oh, I'll just do it. Why not?" And then I thought, no, I don't. I don't want to do it that way. I want to do it my way, and my way is keep working, meet casting directors, get myself out there. I moved to London on my own a year and a half ago with literally no job, just to chase acting, and it's tough. Like it is tough doing
How
this,
this
but
is what I was going to go with. How is it going on casting interviews? I mean, going and meeting different directors and all that kind of stuff. How tough was it to break in? I mean, acting is a huge industry. You have the American industry, you have the British industry, European, going all the way to India, for example, one of the hugest industries in filming, acting. How hard was it to break through it and get your first role?
it's hard. It's still hard. It's not something that I think even when you are established and you get a few good roles, you're then still fighting for the next job.
Of
There's
course,
nothing's ever guaranteed unless you're on like a soap or a big sitcom in America and you've got a contract. But then even then that comes to an end, right? So you're always striving for more. And
indeed.
there's lots of people who are Caucasian, have the same color eyes as me, the same build, same hair color. So I'm in a very, difficult age bracket and a difficult look bracket, everything. So it's difficult, but that's why I'm always like, I'm very big on training and continuing your training. I still go to an acting studio. I haven't at the moment because of lockdown, but every week I record myself, or well, they record us, and we give each other feedback. We meet casting directors every month, and I'm always doing workshops because it's like networking. You have to put
Of
yourself out there.
course.
I am a
Absolutely.
product, and the product that I'm presenting to people needs to be one that I'm proud of. And until
Indeed.
I know that I'm, at the level that I want to be at, and that means that I go out of my way to maybe learn a new acting skill or learn a new accent or do more theatre, more stage, more musical theatre, more TV, more commercial stuff. I'm constantly just trying to evolve because it's so,
Sure.
especially in London, like it's just crazy up there. It's
And you've
even more
not
competition.
and you've not looked at just one field, like you mentioned, theater, filming, TV, soaps, drama. I mean, have you sort of narrowed yourself as to what you want to do, or you're open to all the industries within the acting sector?
It's been a really hard battle with that because I was theatre trained. I then got a few short films and a documentary and an ITV show when I was really young. I was always told like you're amazing on stage, your presence on stage is incredible, and I love the buzz of being on stage. But kind of recently, I think since moving to London, I've looked into more screen acting and I've got amazing feedback from that as well. So I would say I'm at that point where I love theatre, I love screen, and I just think whatever comes, I'll be happy to take. But I still think battle with that. I think until I start getting more jobs, then I'll probably go, oh yeah, that's where I feel the most passion. But
Well, Lisa,
I'm really
before I jump into the next sector, I just want to say, like, don't forget Mortaza, who took your live session today. When you get to that stage
I
of
won't.
getting an Oscar, for example, you know. So I
I
wish
don't
you.
forget anyone. That's why I always said I'll never change me. I'll never change anything about myself, and I'll always remember the people who took the time to find out more about me.
We're
Because
like, we'll be standing at the back of the red. Lisa, you know, and Lisa's just on the red carpet into the studio.
that's the goal. That's the goal.
Absolutely. So we discussed about acting and your passion for acting and how you want to go out and get on with it and move into the main scale acting career. Why did you decide to get into tutoring and teaching young kids acting? What was your motivation behind it?
My motivation behind it was I was once that kid who never got given a chance, and I think I struggled growing up because I had two options growing up. It was stick to the norm, and that means working a 9 to 5, chasing that dream, because that's all really people did around me. Or
Yep.
you know, think outside of the box and actually go to these classes and learn and grow as an individual. And I think it was when I lived in Manchester for a couple of years, and I was speaking to a few people that were acting that said, "Oh, you should look into teaching kids. You've got lots of energy. You'd be really great at it." And then I went to one workshop and I did like a trial shift working with kids. And the enjoyment from it, like the excitement, like they think you're the most incredible thing, and you're like, am I? I'm still doubting myself. I'm still auditioning. Am I even that good? But to them, you're like the best person ever. And just building them up, like having a responsibility for, say, 20 kids and them going to their mum, like, I can't wait to go to class to get taught by Miss Lisa. I love
Of
going to
course.
class because she's teaching me this, she's teaching me that. I just want to help the next generation see that like anything is possible. And if you have a dream and you have a talent, then you can use it and actually grow with it. You don't have to do, you know, the
And
normal thing.
is it difficult teaching them? Like I've got 3 kids
Oh
at
yeah.
home, and it's like you've got 20 in your class, and I've got 3, and I'm like, whoa,
And
you
on
know.
top of that, I don't just teach with one organisation. I teach street dance in one place in London. I teach performing arts in another, singing in another, just drama in another.
Wow.
I'm never like, so my lesson plans, I have to like change them according to where I'm going.
Okay.
I would say the easiest is the dancing, because the dancing is very much like you show the mood, you do it, done, they feel good. The acting, like you have to get them to focus.
You have to
like,
that inner, you have to get that character in them, right? And
yeah, you're trying to say to them, like trying to say to like a 6-year-old, like, think about how you feel in this scene. Why do you feel like this? And they're like, because I feel like it. And I'm like, why? And it's just, yeah, it's so challenging. But I've been with my kids now, the kids I work with, for like over a year. They love me, and we've got through, you know, really big exams, and they passed it with flying colours. I've had to push them, yes, but at first it's difficult because I work from like 3-4-year-olds to like 18. So they're massive difference in ages, and everyone's different. Some people have the confidence, whereas others are like, they just don't want to talk, and you have to really try and ease them out of it.
And is it the same teaching 4-year-olds and 18-year-olds? I mean, what I'm trying to get at is that you mentioned that they could be dumbfounded when they get to the class, right? So to explain that to them, is it easier to explain to a 4-year-old child who will take that in and do as you say, to an 18-year-old child who will take that in and be like, can I? You know, so do you get that? Do you get that variation?
Yeah, I get that variation. And I find that the kids that are younger, even though they have more energy and they're like they're kids, right? So they're really small kids. To teach them is easier than to teach a stubborn teenager who's just come here because their mum's paid a monthly subscription and they might want to do acting, right? And I still have kids like this, and bit by bit, you know, I've said to them, you know, you're really talented, and I want you to be happy, and I want you to do, and I always ask the kids I work with, like, what do you want to work towards? Like, what do you want from this lesson? And then I make sure that I do my best to try and get that out of them. But it's actually easier to explain to a 4 or 5-year-old, let it go, just have fun, than to an 18-year-old, because they're like, oh, well, I look silly, I look this way. What if someone's watching from the window? What if
someone's gonna laugh at me? Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is just, there's so much more going on with teenagers than there is young kids. When you're young, you don't care.
Yeah.
You really don't care. So you haven't
Absolutely.
got the inhibitions of, I feel stupid, I'm this, I'm that. When you're
Uh,
older, you're more aware, right?
exactly.
So
And
you're
when you,
like, oh,
and when you're younger, you're like asking any question that comes to your mind, you know, and you're there to answer them. Whereas when you're older and a teenager, you're like thinking whether if I ask this, will I sound dumb, or, you know, all
yeah,
that
will it
kind of
be
stuff.
awkward? Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
some of the
Yeah.
kids ask me certain things, and I'm like, I don't think I should answer that. That's a mum and dad question. I get that, and then the little ones just ask the craziest things. I'm like, is that even like? Are you talking English? Like, what was even that question? They're very sweet though.
So this, your experience in acting and teaching the kids how to act, what's the what's the advantage that you have when you're teaching them, because you already come from that background, you already know what the character needs. How do you explain that to the kids?
It's difficult, I'll be honest with you. I have to like take away what I know sometimes and how I'd approach things, and ask them, just ask them the questions. Like, we did Aladdin not long ago with a group of kids, and most of them were like 6, 7, and 8. And I just
Okay.
asked them basic things like, what do you know about Aladdin? Okay, how does this character feel? Like, you know, imagine you're a guard, you know, how would you stand? And just all those things. But it's difficult because for me, like, I go right back. Like, I use like method acting, so I'll go right back. I'll do a timeline of big events. Like, I'll mark everything out so that I know where I'm coming from in the scene. All of these big, massive things. I can't do that with these kids. They don't have the brain space for it. You
Yep.
have to keep things fun as well. So that's
Yep.
why I always have to do drama games, things that will keep them engaged. Because if I don't do that, then they're going to be like off for the fairies.
Of
So
course.
it's different the way I do things, even though I wish I could go in and just teach them everything I know, but like bam, bam, bam. But they would just go, whoa, what are you
and
talking about?
and sometimes while teaching them, don't you think like, god damn, it's so easy, like why can't you do it, you know? Do
I
you
do
ever have
have
that
those
feel?
moments. They have
Yeah.
to stay in, but yeah, sometimes I'll have those moments and I'm like, no, compose yourself. They are kids and they're not an adult and they're not going to get it like you get it. But yeah, with the older kids, I can be a bit like, come on, guys, we know this. We know what's going on. And they're like, and I'm like, I know you're tired, you know, doing nothing at home because I'm teaching online at the moment. And every
Yeah.
single time I'm online, the teenagers are like, I'm so tired. I'm like, what have you done? They're like, nothing. I'm like, so why are you tired? And they're like, I don't know. I'm like, right, okay.
I get that with my kids all the time. I'm like,
It's
go and
so
get this from
funny.
upstairs. No, I don't want to go upstairs. Like, I'm tired. Like, doing what exactly?
What have
You
you
know, but
done?
exactly. So now we've spoken about your acting career so far, your performing arts. The final stage that I want to talk to you about is Forex, and why. I mean, acting, teaching acting, and then Forex. I mean, what's
So random,
the
right?
I mean, it is so random. I mean, people would think you would go and do something else into acting, possibly, you know, like you mentioned, you do dancing as well and all that kind of stuff. But why Forex? Why did you decide to get into Forex?
Um, I'll go back a
And
few
have you
years.
been in Forex from a very long time, or has it
No,
just
no, no,
been
no.
recent?
It's relatively new. I've been an online entrepreneur. I have done network marketing. I have been involved in online businesses for about 4 or 5 years, yes.
Okay,
And the reason I started then was the same reason I started Forex, is because it's a hard industry, acting. You have to work a normal job because you're not guaranteed work, and you're constantly chasing that paycheck. You're
of
waiting for
course.
that paycheck, and then you're having to say to your employee, and any excuse to get out of it for an audition, right? And
Yep,
my thinking behind going into Forex was, I want to be in a position where I don't have to rely on someone else for an income. I want to be able to go to an audition and not have to apologize for chasing my purpose and my
yep,
passion,
yep,
right? And Forex is something that you can do from your phone. It's something that can give you a residual passive income. And for me, I know how online businesses work. So for me, it was just finding, you know, can I learn this new skill? Can I learn how to trade? Yes, I can, because I'm partnered with a company that teach me how to trade. So all I do every day now is just adapt this skill. But it sounds so random when I say to people, I'm a Forex trader and an actress. They're like, how do the two? I'm like, they don't have
Me
to be together.
exactly. How do they
Yeah,
coincide
they
with each
don't
other?
even match.
Yeah,
They're not, I don't think they're supposed, that's why I always say to people, like, I'm very different. You know, I'm a very different person. acting's my passion, of course, but then my other passion, just like I help kids, I love to help other people, show them what's possible. And with Forex, like the income can be an amazing amount of money. And for me, I'm not chasing an income. I'm just chasing time freedom.
Of
When I don't have
course.
to explain myself to an employee, when I want to just go to an audition or
Of
go on that
course.
acting course or maybe go to America to meet some more people, I can do that. I have the flexibility to strive for that when I'm doing Forex, whereas I don't have that in a normal job because you're confined to working hours and you're confined to a 9 to 5, you're confined to a paycheck. I don't want
Of
to be
course.
that person, if that makes
And,
sense.
and I mean, jumping into Forex, I mean, without any experience, I mean, did you go and take some tutorials or did you take classes or did you watch any videos on YouTube or webinars or seminars? I mean, did you go to all of that stuff to
So
decide that, okay, yes, this is something I can do?
yeah, initially I thought that's what I had to do. I looked into Forex about a year ago and I just got really overwhelmed with how much information. I didn't know where to start. It was a bit overwhelming for me. So I actually reached out to a friend on social media called Chelsea, and I seen her doing really well with it. And then she told me about a company called I Am Academy that actually teach you how to trade. So before I even, got started, I researched the company, found out about the CEO, found out he was partnered with people like Bob Proctor. And I was like, okay, well, I know Bob, not know him personally. I wish I knew him personally. I don't. But I knew of him from being in network marketing before. So I was like, look, they're aligned with like really great reputable people. I looked into the company and I thought, well, and then I reached out to people in the UK who had traded with this company and got their feedback. And every single person got back to me and said, it's incredible. I've
Okay.
gone from this to this position and I know exactly what I'm doing. So I learned with the company. I learned and earned at the same time, which is great.
Okay. And they taught you all the ins and outs and the
They teach you
trading and
everything. Yeah, it's like an educational platform, so you learn everything how to trade. But then Chelsea, who's the person that I asked it about, she kind of mentors me as well. So she
okay.
taught me the ins and outs as well. But the academy is there to basically teach you everything. So
Uh,
you go from literally knowing nothing to knowing how to trade and how
And
to trade independently as well on your own.
and how long how long was that training that you had to go to?
The training's like continuous. They always give you trainings, but I probably took about 3 weeks to learn the basics.
Okay.
I started it in April, and I'm now calling my own trades. The people that have got involved with me and I've referred, they're also calling their own trades. And yeah, I would say 3 weeks to a month, I was pretty much happy to kind of do it. But I'm
Okay.
still learning. We're always learning. We're always like a student. We're always evolving. And we're never going to know everything because trading always changes. There's new
Of
strategies every
course.
single day.
The new
It's very
the
complex.
world economy, pandemics.
Yeah, like
Oh,
even news, like what's happening in the world, it
yep.
massively affects
Yep.
the forex market. What
Yep.
most people don't realize though is it can affect the forex market, but like stocks, for example, if you were in stocks right now, which a lot of people are, and they're basically losing money because everything's going down, right?
Of
But
course.
with
Of course.
with the forex market, you can benefit off the companies going up and down. You can benefit off buys and sells. So that's why for me, before I was going to look into stocks, but I actually thought, well, Forex makes a lot more sense right now. We're in basically like probably another recession. It's COVID, everyone's kind of locked down. People are
Yep.
going under businesses. But even though things like this are happening, we can benefit off, currencies going down and up and still earn money. So
Of
for me,
course.
I was like, oh, well, I want to be able to earn an income during this time because lots of people aren't, right? So that's
And is it
exactly,
possible to do it in your own time? I mean, you could
yeah,
wake
like,
up in the morning, set a trade, leave it there. I mean,
yeah,
how does it work
it
exactly?
literally works just how you said it. You get involved with the company, you decide your own, you can just take half an hour a day, 15 minutes a day, whenever you have time, and
Okay.
you just learn how to trade. So you might get up, if you're brand new, you might get up and watch like a training video, maybe practice that, what they're teaching you. And then the next
Okay.
day you might think, right, I'll, have a one-to-one with my mentor. You really just, it's work from home. So you do it when you can. There's like there's no pressure with it. I've been involved in businesses where you have to kind of do a certain amount of things on social media or sell amount of products. There's nothing like that. You just trade whenever you want to trade. It's literally just whenever you want to do it.
And do you actually, I mean, let's say we spoke about the news and the economy and all that kind of stuff, businesses going under. Um, do you watch the news and then place your trade, or you just leave the media to the side and do as you feel?
There's lots of ways that we can see what's happening in the market. The one way we do it is a website called Forex Factory, and that
Okay.
tells you what news is coming out for those currencies. So, for example, today I went on and it said the United States dollar was, highly impacted. So it means we don't trade that US dollar today because maybe the market might go a bit choppy and up and down, up and down.
Yep. Yep.
So there's certain things that we look at. You don't have to watch the actual news. There's actual websites that show you what's happening. Bloomberg's
But
a
is
good one.
that genuine?
Yeah. No, it's completely genuine. Yeah.
Okay.
Like everything on there is, taken from news outlets, but it saves you having to actually watch the news every single day because the news isn't going to always talk about what currencies are decreasing and increasing, whereas this website basically do.
So you look at the website and then you use your own brain as to where you want to be in the trade and what you want to trade at and what currency you want to trade with.
Yeah, and there's loads of different analysis that you can actually use. That analysis is called fundamental, so it means that you're looking at the news, you're understanding how that impacts the market, and then we actually get taught something called technical analysis, which is how we look at price in the market, mark
Okay.
our charts up, and understand when it's buying and selling. So there's lots
Okay.
of ways that we can tell.
Lisa, your video is stuck. Oh, there we go. Yep, all well.
Yeah, sorry, I think I froze. Are we back?
Yep, we're good. We're good. We're here. So wow. And with your acting, with teaching kids, with Forex, how is it that you multitask? How do you get to everywhere at every time? I mean, for example, you could have set a trade and you could be teaching and you got to stop that trade at certain time. How do you get around that?
First thing, I don't have to check my trades because I set a stop loss, which basically
Okay.
it's like in the market, I would say I'm putting a trade in and I don't want to lose more than £5 for that trade. So when it gets to that point, if it does go and kind of loses me the trade, it stops me out at that particular point. And
Okay.
the opposite way as well, I also I set a take profit. That basically means that if the market does sell and I put a sell order in and it takes profit, my trade's done. I don't have to go back and forth to it.
Okay.
That's the beauty
Fine.
of it. I can set
And
it
then
in
you
the
can
morning,
carry on with your day, whatever
day.
you're doing. Okay.
You don't need to look at it. That's what they teach you to kind of have the confidence to set a stop loss, set a take profit, do a buy or a sell order, and then leave it. So I don't
And
need to worry about trading.
do you ever get greedy?
Yeah, no, I want to say no. I've had greedy moments where I've been like, should I put a bit more in? I've had like a demo account, so not a live account, where I have played around and been a little
Okay. Okay.
bit, but it's never worked out well. So I've learned my lesson with
that. Well, it was absolutely amazing talking to you, knowing about what you do, how you go out and multitask between 3 careers in your life. It's absolutely amazing to know about that. Before you go, I do this with all my guests that come on here, is to share positive advice with the world out there that we're living in right now. What positive advice would you like to share with them so that they can take that on board and move forward in life?
It's kind of the same thing I say to a lot of people. And I know it sounds crazy because I'm Forex trading, right? But I always say, don't chase money, chase purpose. And find what it is you're passionate about in life. And don't let anybody deter you from that. We as humans compare ourselves a lot to other people. And it's a really downward battle then because you're constantly having a comparison. We are an individual. I'm not like anybody else in the world. I might look like them, I might sound like them, but I am who I am. I believe in what I believe in and I have my own purpose. So what I would say is that just chase your purpose. Don't let anybody deter you from what you love to do because life is so short. You don't know when your last day's coming. So treat every day like it's your last. Plan ahead. I always plan my days. It's why I'm so organized with what I do. I have a whiteboard. I know exactly what I'm doing in my day. So have a good structure. Be happy. Life is so short if you're not happy. Find something that you get out of bed in the morning for. Don't just get out of bed because you're like, well, I'm just going to get out of bed because I got to
get out of bed for a purpose. Absolutely.
With a purpose, with a reason to get out of bed. Something that you know, I know when I teach kids, like my heart is full. I know when I'm helping others to trade, my heart is full. When I'm on stage, I'm shaking like a leaf because I know it's my passion. And I
Absolutely.
think that I've led my life that way, but I've also led my life other ways where I've chased money and I've chased security. And that's when I've been like down. And it's not good to feel like that. So I would
Absolutely.
definitely say chase your purpose and do what it is you're passionate about.
Super. But thank you so much for coming on here today, sharing some amazing knowledge, sharing this positive advice. It's been absolutely great hosting you. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Thank you for asking me. It's been lovely to speak to you.
Thank you, Lisa. Take care.
You take care. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye. So that was Lisa Michelle Pugh, who is a actor, a tutor for performing arts. She teaches kids, you know, from all ages, like she mentioned. Also, she's a Forex trader. An amazing piece of multitasking. You want to know how to multitask? Do check this live session out. Thank you to Lisa for joining me today and sharing some valuable information. And thank you to all the viewers that tuned in. Do tune in at 6 o'clock because I've got a celebrity podcaster who's joining me and it's going to be absolutely amazing. So thank you, everyone. Have a great, great day. Super. Take care. Bye-bye.